Hello there, thanks a lot for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard. And the term marquee posters, usually refers to window cards like this, that line list, if you will, numerous upcoming shows without much detail on any individual show, but lots of information about the general series overall. And as marquee posters go, I'll tell you, you'd be hard-pressed to do better than New York's Forest Hills music festivals of the late 60s and early 70s. Now, I've already blogged the 1967 one. I'll show you an image of that again in a moment, along with a couple of others. But first, the poster today is 1970, and what a fun and varied lineup of talent on here today. There's just not a clunker in the group. Almost 50 years later, every single act here is still relevant and getting radio airplay. And what a catchy design, right? Look at that, that's nice. 7 different colors used, a different color for each date. So whether you like pop or rock, or soul or folk music, whatever, it's all on here. Now the actual dates of the shows were 7 consecutive Saturday nights from mid-July to mid-August of 70, with only Simon and Garfunkel commanding 2 dates. Leading off the poster though, right there on top though, we have Sly and the Family Stone, owner of 4 big hits up to this point: Dance to the Music, Everyday People, Hot Fun in the Summertime, and Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself again. Opening for Sly is Rare Earth, and their debut hit Get Ready was still in the national top 20. Then the second stripe there, we do have Simon and Garfunkel riding the crest of their landmark Bridge Over Troubled Water album. It had been #1 for 2 months. It won Grammy, the Grammy for Album of the Year, and it spawned a couple of top 5 singles, the title track and Cecilia. So with all that, popularity, there are 2 dates on here for Paul and Artie, Friday and the Saturday night, and under their name it does say, only USA appearance this season. Well, surprisingly, Simon and Garfunkel did not tour behind their monster album, unless you count just 5 days in Europe. So these are the only Simon and Garfunkel dates in America, not only this year, but for the next 5 years. Wow, and coming off such a killer album. What an honor and a privilege for the people attending these 2 nights, and of course they probably didn't know just what they were seeing in that regard. Then the next weekend you have Leonard Cohen in his first New York appearance. Wow, for many that's the best act on the poster, their favorite. Cohen of course has a rabid fan base. And it's kind of surprising though in 1970 before his first New York appearance, because in the late 60s he already had 2 albums out, songs of Leonard Cohen and songs from a room. Then you go into the center there in the pink stripe, and there's Janis Joplin right in the middle on August 1st. Wow. Now this was sadly one of Janis's last shows ever. Her final concert of her life was just 12 days later in Boston. She was playing with a full tilt boogie band and starting work on the album Pearl later this month, and she did pass away on October 4th, 2 months after this show. Then on August 8th you have Peter, Paul and Mary and their latest album. It's always nice when you're touring off a greatest hits album, the concert's going to be full of goodies, and that would be 10 years together, the best of Peter, Paul and Mary. And then in the orange stripe, yeah, the band, very highly prestigious act. They just didn't tour much, and their highest charting album without Bob Dylan's involvement was Stage Fright, and that would be released on the Monday right after this Saturday night show for the band. And then finally, closing out the poster down there at the bottom, you have the Fifth Dimension on August 22nd, and they had enjoyed 7 top 20 hits up till now, and the next one up was One Less Bell to Answer. For the 5D, the opening act was Ramsey Lewis, and boy, 1970 was a busy year for him. In that year, he released a studio, a live, and a greatest hits album. And the rest of the poster is just, business, informing punters how to get their tickets and stuff, including the gray stripe at the bottom which says, travel easy to the festival on the Long Island Railroad. That's kind of neat. So the promoter of all these was Leonard Ruskin, and he tended to have one of these made every year, which is great fun for us poster collectors, so let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of the others. Here's the 1966 one, and as you can see it had the same spotlights motif down the left-hand side. And it starts with, wow, the Rolling Stones on July 2nd. And after that, you can just see all the rich talent on here. I'm especially fond myself of the yellow stripe down at the bottom, the Supremes, the Temptations, and Stevie Wonder. Oh my goodness. So the next year, 1967, and this is the one where I've actually blogged the poster before on my video blogs, well, you've got all this really nice, strong talent to begin with, right? Then you throw in the fact that both Jimi Hendrix and the Doors were hidden opening acts for a couple of these shows, not even mentioned on the poster, and you really have one heavy piece. Wow. And then finally the next year, 1968, this is my fuzzy image. Sorry about this, but better than nothing, and gives you a gist of the idea. Different layout technique, as you can see. It does have boxes instead of stripes on there, but still very much the multicolored theme. And in the lower right area, I really like a couple of those Motown shows. Wow. In pink, you have the Supremes and Stevie Wonder, and in blue, the Four Tops and Marvin Gaye. Oh man, pity the poor Motown fan who had to pick one or the other between the two weekends. You know, I can't even imagine how many hundreds of millions of records all of the acts on these four posters sold. My goodness, you know, if you combine them all together, right? But I could see it actually hitting 1 billion units, especially if you count modern day MP3s and digital downloads. I mean, they say that Bing Crosby or Elvis Presley, or I should say and Elvis Presley, both achieved that all by themselves, that figure. So, boy, Forest Hills Music Festival, did they make one earlier than 66? Did they make one later than 70? I don't know yet. I haven't seen them, but if I come across them, you can be darn sure I'll blog them. Okay? Alrighty, thanks a lot for dropping by today. Have a good day, and we'll see you again for something soon. Bye-bye.